All right, all right. Back at it again, back at it again, back at it again. Ooh, try not to be late, y'all. Try not to be late, y'all. Try not to be late, y'all. Got caught up with some shit. Hold on. Hold on. Caught up with late. Okay. The reset is in full effect right now. We're talking about political content as usual. Um, just started to get in. So don't y'all worry. Don't y'all worry. Let's see. Let's see. We talked about this last year. Make sure everything is run right. And we're good. We're good. We're in here. Salute, Mike. Salute, 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 salute. Oh, appreciate it. Yeah. It's in full effect right now. What we're seeing is like, political wise, it is. And I've noticed this in 2020, and I think most people should already know this stuff is for real. You see it in stuff, you see it most in the stuff we love, like entertainment, like video games, movies, and things like that. A lot of changes. A lot of changes. And I'm playing, I think, one of their recent mistakes, I think Rockstar's games, like, it's all right. I think it's the audio issue, which is one of their main problems. They focus on graphics too much. That's what set them back. But enough of that. That's just what I was doing earlier because I almost got late. I wasn't going to do this. But we're going to talk about what we see in recent events. And I think they was talking about Trump and his raid. I want to speak on that. It's kind of like you reap what you sow, but you take a risk going against the grain. But that's what he get. And he was on their side for years and years until he went to the other side of it. They all both corrupt on each side, but mainly you put yourself at risk. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't expect people to not to like you. And you got to understand, most people just don't give a shit. Like they want to see you fail regardless. I'm not saying that he's perfect in any way, but I'm just saying, like, when you're that type of person and you got that mystique about you, you better be careful what you say. Because we're in the age when people just don't want you to say anything. That's pretty much what I'm getting from it right now. Like, what I'm saying is, like, you got to understand something. When you're on this type of topics and you getting through it, some people just going to look at you certain ways. But, all salute. Someone in the chat. Yeah, that's the thing about me. I mean, when we talk about the Great Reset is here, it started in 2020 when people didn't have their priorities straight. So it's pretty much, I'm saying it's in full effect right now. You see the after effects in 2022, people just coming in and just right there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really trying to persuade anybody. But it takes time, and people's gonna be on some bullshit. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna listen to the ones that have the knowledge and shit like that because they're full of shit because they can't handle the proper reset that's coming. They on some bullshit. Now we talk about the bullshit. We're going tomorrow. We're gonna talk about that shit tomorrow. We ain't talking about that tonight because y'all be on bullshit 24/7. Ain't comprehend a goddamn thing. That's how dumb these niggas are, man. And that's gonna affect all you niggas that doing these weird ass panels and shit. Now, shouts out to Ramil, that's different. He's an entertainer and things like that, but he's giving you the insight that, yeah, these hoes are winning. But you gotta understand some why they're winning. We let them win by talking about them 24/7. Now, I'm not saying if that's your content and then you structuring it right, like see Ramil, his is different. He just wants you to see because he has that notoriety. He'll talk about anything and anybody. It's just you got to look at it from that angle. That's what he does, but everybody can't do what he does. That's the difference. At least he admits his shit. He moves on, and then he just goes in and just does his thing. So it's no hate over here. It is what it is. You just got to understand something that this stuff usually becomes the norm. Now, me, I don't talk about a lot of people as much. So be mindful of that. I don't talk about it as much as I should. It's just like, I don't get involved in that, because sometimes I used to back in the day and I kind of stopped. And I did in the comment section and things like that. But sometimes people, you got some interesting people want to be. in that run, in that makeup lineup. So this month has been very interesting, and then last month was interesting because politics is very tricky when you talk about some real shit. So you pretty much in the bag, man. So I'm not really tripping off what's going on. So when you got people talking about the changes that were coming, even myself, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be some big changes. You're gonna see it a lot, and it's gonna affect everybody long term. So you got to be mindful. What are you listening to and things like that. So I'm just giving you certain knowledge that just prepare for yourself because some people they're just gonna look at you kind of crazy at the end of the day. So certain people speak on certain things, and that's just how it's gonna boil down to. So you're gonna hear a lot of things. You're gonna hear a lot of things that people are not gonna just comprehend what message you're trying to put. I'm just trying to pervade that most men, yes, they're struggling and they deal with a lot of problems. I saw some on Alvin Priest talking about the woman, like that's what causes certain things, and I forget what they pre-records they did with the woman, yeah, and talk about the rhymes with ape, but we ain't gonna say, I know people sense about the R word, but people say it all the time in the comment section. They ain't sense of that. But that's a whole nother time. I ain't gonna use the stupid word grave. It rhymes with ape with the R in front, but you already know. But the funny thing is when they talked about that, they was talking about the consent talk. And usually I don't do that on my channel, the consent talk. I don't really go in depth in it because you got a lot of them preach the feminist shit that you see a lot. So normally they do exist, but that's just their belief. Do I believe half of the stuff they say? Hell no. They just be who they are. They be on some bullshit. That's why they're broken. It's a lot of broken people out here, so you got to be mindful of that. What's going on? And they want their revenge in 2024. That's what you're gonna see. So overseas, trying to say the passport and all that. See, that's a distraction. I'm gonna tell you what that is. That's a distraction for the women to win certain ground politically. Or I wouldn't should say women. I'll say females. Females will win that argument if long as you talk about passport pros, game versus non-game. That's a win for them. And I don't know if y'all niggas don't understand that. They're gonna look at you like you crazy. They already got the game sold up. How you gonna beat them is not play in today's shit, but you gotta learn to adapt to it. That's the thing about me. I don't understand that people don't understand what I'm saying is it's pretty much what I'm seeing right now because the reset is here. They try to say the hoes wasn't winning. No, they've been winning. It's just they've been winning overseas too. They on to your shit now. They're familiar with your vernacular. Now they're trying to see where you stand at. Most of the times I see this as an opportunity to change. So you're pretty much accurate in what your assessments is going to be, right? But you got to understand something. This stuff is very very real. So that reset stuff is going to happen, because you already know the reset was here, but it's going to speed up a lot faster in 2024 because since they're going to keep the daylight savings thing as a standard because nobody's not growing nothing in the farms, they did it, but most times they did that based off World War One. A lot of people try to say it's based off the other stuff. No, they got that. They got that from World War One. It wasn't just the growing; they got it from World War One, and it did affect people a lot of heart problems. Yeah, it was off and on, like in the 70s, wherever, but I wouldn't count that. I'm talking about that concept has always been like that. And people brought it back in the 70s and did more damage. And that's why a lot of people have these high rate diseases as you have now. So they're trying to look at the health aspect of how you're going to survive in this world. So now everybody's going to deter that. So it's a lot of problems. It's a lot of problems in the world. And it's just like, I, I understand that people don't have any issues going on, but this stuff is going to continue, man. Like you're going to notice that people are going to change regardless of the situation. So, as I expected, most people are just going to be like, okay, we're going to be here for a minute, and we're also going to be here for a long time. So, if you take care of yourself prior to it, you should be all right. But most people have died left and right, with the disease, the virus is spreading and things like that. And then you got some people talking about the monkeypox. I'm not gonna get into that bullshit. That's just another tactic that it ain't even threatening. I mean, it's contagious, but it ain't that contagious. Just don't participate that in the wild. So it's not even that bad. It's not even that deadly. So it's a repeat of history because this country is suffering as it is. So yeah, what's going on, beef and brat? But you you notice something about me. It's like I know this is coming. I know this is coming because they're already making the changes right now. And I think I was at the LBM Coliseum today, and they was talking about the dudes like AMS and all them guys. Like, see, them guys that they're washed, okay. But what I've noticed in the LBM Coliseum, he's gonna do his thing. He gonna do his thing and keep it pushing. That's the thing. Some people got to look at how you gonna do this. It's pretty much simple as it is. I see why people do enough things that's going on. So yeah, it's pretty much it. So I got to get this thing situated. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I had to get this thing situated. Hold on for a minute. This was the raggedy one. Okay, I gotta get this thing situated. Make sure no noise coming in the leakage. So y'all gotta bear with me because it's been a rough for me today because it's been a smooth day, but it's a rough on the tail end. So I'm fine. I'm doing great. But tomorrow's gonna be great because we're gonna talk about some fuck shit and we're gonna talk about what I saw in the LPN Coliseum last weekend. And it's very telling. And we're gonna talk about Loud Truck, aka Big Truck's behind. They try to say he's sipping for some racist bitch pussy, but we ain't gonna get into that debacle and fiasco. We're just gonna keep it as it is. You know what I'm saying? And I just put on a new band-aid, stop the bleeding for a minute. Yeah, fuck my hand up on the freezer. I fuck my hand on the freezer. So I'm gonna fold this up for a minute. And it is. Oh, what's going on, T Church? TC Killer, T Church in the building. But it's just like one thing I can say about me that's going forward. You know, it's here, man. Like this reset thing is going to happen. I know it's a political talk. It's vague. It's broad. It's wide open. But you got people don't understand the stuff that y'all doing. It's just commencing right now. Because I mean, you see a lot, and then you got these females acting crazy, think they got the power over us. Technically, they don't. They have power over weak males that still don't learn from their mistakes from 2 years ago. So you're not really stopping them from changing anything. You can't change them. They've been having it sold up since years, since I would say 2016 when I wasn't back in these spaces. That's been a big thing. So you got to understand that they're not going to stop doing what they're doing. Okay, you got to change some things. You got to change some environmental stuff that you got to move forward. Normally, you're not really processing anything, right? So I'm not saying that people are not going to change long term, but it's the fundamental things that you got to look at, right? and it's pretty much the same old, same old. And I'm busy dealing with something like on some real shit and stuff like that. Even though I was on my job at the time, because in my 20s, I was just trying to live that life and just maintain what I have. So pretty much people are gonna be who they are. So I'm not really worried about these dudes worrying about their relationship problems, and that's something y'all should have figured out years ago. And y'all should have studied this shit when this was coming down the pipe. I've been doing this thing for like a long time, like analyzing people for years and study people. Been doing it when I was doing content. And that's my thing. That's one of my trades. And I feel like that's one of my fields I've known for. I read people very well. That's one of the skills that I have. And it helps. Even when I was volunteering, understand how to read people. And it took me a minute. It it took me a solid minute. Hold on for a second. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Had to get stitched up. Damn. It's always some bullshit that I have to deal with, but you gotta make it work. Make it work as you can. But back on the topic of resetting. People starting over, they doing things, and they're moving forward. So you got to be mindful of what's going on. So I'm not I'm not saying to stop, but it's a must have. One thing I can say about it, you got to understand this stuff is going to continue moving forward. So they are winning tremendously. So, I'm just saying, like, in so many words, like, we out here and things like that. So, oh, damn, I didn't know that was that low in here. Okay, good, good. Because, it's Wednesday night. Because usually my actual content don't get that many little bumps and chinks there. But y'all got to forgive me because sometimes, you're doing stuff. I had like a little issue, had a little issue. I'm going to mute up for a second. Okay. Okay. It ain't me. It ain't me. I was looking at stuff, I don't want to get hit with the strike because someone was playing a 24-hour live stream. It's in the background muted. I always mute my shit. But YouTube's on some bullshit, but I'm trying this definitive edition. I ain't gonna tell you how I'm doing, but I'm doing decent. But I'm playing the San Andreas one. It's all right. I will say it's all right. I'm just gonna have to get familiar with, the controls are just terrible. I mean, the aiming and the shooting, I gotta tweak it a little bit. I gotta get a feel. It's a formula thing. I am not gonna use cheats on this thing. It's not even worth it. I like the old style better because you get a feel of the controls. It's something about their controls on the old style. It's a lot better. You don't want to play this style because this is something just to get you going, but it's not worth it, man. They should have just left it alone and kept it to the controls and stopped trying to be like the newer the 2013 GTA 5 one, you know. And I know they was trying to sell, but I'll explain that tomorrow. It's gonna be a combination of that talk, and then we're gonna talk about the fuck shit, what I saw this past week, and then we're gonna get into it because I'm gonna build up on that conversation. Y'all gonna hear me spew that. Because normally, you know, tonight I just want to talk about politics. I just want to get into why things are changing and what you see in Donald Trump's raid. Like that's a tall tale sign that it's over, bro. Like y'all can't do that rhetoric and that bullshit all day long. I get Trump was the thing in 2016. Like I said, it's over. No, no, they've been doing that since during the Obama days. They did it in the Bush days. Things are changing. You know, this country is damn near collapsing. No one cares. No matter who's in office, they're not going to help the people as usual. And then Biden's not going to do another term. I say he's going to do another term. No, he's not. He's a one term, and he ain't going to win shit. Nobody wants to fuck with him long term. Let's just keep it 1,000. He's not going to go again. Y'all need to get out of your heads that y'all think he's going to last forever. That motherfucker's not going to last forever, y'all. It's just what it is. Y'all just need to move on and just deal with it. Like the motherfucker is going to be who he is. Like that's just it. And I gotta see what the fuck I did with that tie. Okay, it's over here. Good, thank you. I didn't want to lose that shit. I don't want to lose that fucking tie because that is the most important one I need. I don't need to lose that. Get these cables under the way. I gotta. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make no leakage, but you know, hold on for a minute. Yeah, I'm back at it again. Oh shit. I don't want no fucking choppiness. But you know, yeah, I gotta get used to these headphones that I got. So it's pretty much, you know, I'm just gonna be yeah, this is gonna take me about an hour. It's usually I usually do it 2 hours an hour. Yeah, I might it may cut through. I might go for an hour longer or 2 hours. So I don't see how I feel because I believe, yeah, I'm gonna stay up and just talk and y'all come through. But like I said, that Trump shit, that's inevitable. So one thing I can tell y'all is like when Trump came into office, it became one of those things. I'm just like, we here and it's just like, hey, it was different. I didn't vote for the motherfucker, but I understood what his presence was for those years. I say he was great. Technically, no, he wasn't. He's just as bad as Obama. It's just even worse because a lot of people they had jobs, some people, and a lot of people didn't help jobs. He's focused on getting money. It was a lesser evil moment, but Biden, in my mind, most people thought he was going to win. Most people had Trump winning, but the reality, Biden was going to win regardless because he had people who was tired of Trump. It was a split country, so 74 million was going to vote for Trump. They believe in him, and those people, I ain't saying shit about. I'm just gonna leave them alone. They don't know any better. It reminds you of Obama people in reverse. Some of them used to be Obama supporters, and they jumped to Trump by default because they wasn't really Hillary supporters. Most of them were women. But when Biden supporters, some of them were semi Obama supporters or no supporters at nobody. They just voted for Biden. So Biden by default was a lesser evil in this election uh, 2 years ago. The new one's coming up in 2024. I don't think Biden's gonna win that one. I don't believe he's gonna win that one because you can't use predictions. You're gonna find out he's not gonna win the next one. And that's done by design. A lot of guys that predict he's right. That's him, but he's always been wrong too. He ain't always predict those. He's usually the reason he's predict he's going by metrics. That don't make he's always right. That don't make you the smartest person. You can be wrong. He's wrong on other shit. They just ain't gonna tell you that. And it's kind of funny. Now he may be right on the presidents, but outside of other politics, no, he's not no expert. I can't take his source seriously. You got to be careful when people say shit like that. That shit will fuck with you long term. You got to be careful what you say, and because you got to prove some shit. And it's not about just proving. No, you got to prove to me, are you consistent? No, because you can be wrong all the time, and you got to be careful. Like I said, nobody is always right. That's just a debatable thing that I've always go by. It's debatable. You can't argue with that. You can't argue with that because that is like arguing something that you think you're always right, and that's not true. Not everybody's always right. You could be wrong on some shit. You just gotta admit that you're wrong. Like every now and then, I've always admit my wrongs. I have to stand on them, and I stand on them too, even if I'm not perfect. And I apologize for it, but I'm not gonna apologize every time if I didn't do nothing really wrong, and if you don't communicate me beforehand. That's usually the way it is. It's just I'm one of those people that when I look at politics, I look at it the same damn way. You gotta look at people for what it is. People lie all the time online, offline, and they put these dispersions on certain people. Now, me particular, I deal with it all the time, so it ain't nothing new. And I've been doing this for a long time. But you got a lot of fake motherfuckers that ain't really about no action. See, I'm about the action. You have to take action to do some things. At least I participate in the process. I don't just talk about it. I just do it. I tell them, look, get your situation right and you're good. See, that's what I deal with off here and actually do with real shit. Because most people, they just want to talk and run their mouths and do panels and saying, I'm conservative, I'm this and that, but they ain't really practicing what they're preaching. That's the thing. You got to go by the actions, not what they say. Go by the actions. That way you'll have a presence boost in your presence of what you're speaking. Because you got a lot of people, they just claim they this and that and they're futuristic, they're gonna run some shit. Wait till 2024, they're gonna show their hand. I go by what you did in 2 years, and then you're gonna show your hand. You're gonna change in 24. I don't change. I voted as I always voted. I didn't vote Obama like 2 terms. No, I stopped then. I stopped fucking with it. I ain't vote for Trump. I ain't gonna tell you who I vote for because y'all know it's obvious. But they try to say he's your man. No, he's not. He's just a lesser evil. I ain't gonna vote for his ass again. I'm gonna do it the same way like I always done. I picked a candidate that's gonna fit well with this country because it makes sense. This country ain't ready for no bloodshed like that. They too weak and want to control shit and try to fuck up everybody else's lives. So it's pretty much you just gotta move forward. I'm not trying to argue about people's political views and points. It is what it is. You just gotta make sure what you stand on is firm. I stand on what I believe all the time. Like I'm not gonna argue with people hours on panels about political beliefs. I'm just not gonna do it because a lot of them dudes don't do research, they don't study, and I study all the time. And motherfuckers that think they know everything, like these bitch ass boomers, like especially the younger ones, that's born later generations than around my mom's age. I ain't gonna say my dad's older generation, but the ones that think they know shit and think they're a scholar, they ain't shit. They're joke scholars, man. Like I don't fucking listen to niggas claiming they're about change, but they ain't really about shit. I lost respect for them last year and this year, and I stopped fucking with them. And I'm glad I'm doing my shit and got my own scholarship. I don't need their scholarship. I've proven time and time. I did streams on this shit. And niggas get mad when I say the shit, they get emotional like bitches, and there they are. But it just shows you we're not there yet. Politically knowledge based and do proper research what a conservative is and what a liberal is. Liberals, they want small shit. A lot of people say they want big shit, which is not true. They want small shit. They're hypocritical on the big shit they sell you, but in reality, they want small shit. They want to isolate people like they've always have been. Conservatives want the big shit. Conservatives just means mob rule. It means control, conserve what you believe in, whatever. See, when people say conservative, they think of Republican Party. That's not true. Republicans, 95% of them, to like a 10% decimal or 5% whatever, are liberals or moderates. Conservatives are like 1% of their pile, and they don't really rule nothing in that party, okay? Because they don't last long. And 95% of conservatives are usually Democrat anyway. They come from the Democratic Party because Democratic Party's been racist for years, and they're not liberals. They're conservatives. They just want massive, big production in the military industrial complex. That's what the Democrats have always been. And they try to say, Obama's liberal. No, he's not. He's conservative. He kills innocent children all day long, just like Joe Biden. It's no different. It's the hypocrisy they sell. They're liberal. They're fake liberals, but they're really conservative on the low. There is no such thing as a liberal left. It doesn't exist. The left to me is Marxist. Okay, the left will always going to be Marxist. Right wingers are going to be fascists. Period. That's what it is. Because liberals can be fascists. That's why some people will call libel fascists or liberal fascists. Same fucking thing. Their races always shows when they reveal themselves when they become overt. See, when they're quiet, they end up being what they are, but that's not true. When they overt, they're still racist. They just lie a lot in the dark. But once you expose them on the Republican side, they've always been Republican. They've never been democratically. Democrat is a conservative thing. That is not a liberal concept. I just want y'all to stop believing this left and right religious bullshit paradigm. I'm gonna talk about this shit on a vlog stream and educate you guys. Stop believing in this shit. That shit will fuck your head up long term. See, when I was a younger age in my early youth in my 20s, I'm in my 30s. I'm still young, but I'm getting old, approaching on the 40 plus. But at this age, I grew out of that shit. In your teens and your early 20s, I used to say the dumbest shit that they had these ideologies. I grew out of that shit to like probably in my mid to late 20s, and in my 30s, I studied way more and realized what the concepts were. And I took patience and I read certain things. But it gets the thing keeps me going. But since I'm in the early 30s and close to 30 plus, 35 plus, I realized that a lot of things have changed. And it's pretty much what you have. So, you know. Sorry about that. I didn't mean the dog try to get in my shot. Got my fucking nerves with that. I had to shut the door. Yeah, you can't have nothing. But it's pretty much like the normally. Oh, I was about to say I got lost track. The fucking dog was barking. Had to shut that bitch up. But anyways, that's the paradigms we had to get away from. The right and left paradigms are bullshit. Normally, normally it's just like we got to stop doing that, man. Because normally I'm just like, it's better to understand that when you get it caught up in that stuff, the shit will get on your nerves half of the time. And I get tired when people get on panels and they always talk about conservatism and liberalism. They always lean towards to these left and right paradigm nonsense. Y'all gotta stop doing that shit, man. What's going on, Leticia? What's going on? And it's just like I don't understand why people buy into that. Now I understand we all raised up on it. To me, it's okay to study the shit. I left that shit a long time ago. In my 20s, I used to buy into that. Once I got a certain age, I have to realize that this stuff can be make believe half of the time. So you namely know your source. So it's pretty much the same across the board. So, you know, and I'm just like, hey, I'm just sick of it at this point. But you hear it on panels and stuff like that. But it's pretty much it. So yeah, I have to be. Let me step away from real quick. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna continue on. Yeah, back at it again. And it's pretty much like I said, that paradigm shit needs to stop because most people they just want to get into it and just want to argue with people about it all day. But I understand people buy into it. But in my early 20s, I used to believe that. I used to buy into that. But when I actually studied the proper ideologies and the philosophies of those doctrines like conservatism and liberalism, I really had to do my own homework. So, when you're young and knowing a little bit about politics and study what people believe in research, I was a little well researched, but when I had more research and understanding the context, the concepts and the context was used back then, how they trick people with these words and they don't study it properly, people miss that. They don't teach you that in school. They just want to lie about everybody in your face about these ideologies. Like I said about liberals claim they want big shit, but the reality they're the real isolationists. They're really isolationists by default because they want private government and private banks and all this other stuff. They try to say that's conservative. No, it's not. It's actually liberal. Conservatives want big shit. They want balance. The problem with conservatives that stuff does not work in the real world. A lot of people think conservatism is the way. technically it's not the wave. It's never been the wave because you got to conserve everything. Usually don't work. It only works if the society agrees, if you make the society conservative like that. It doesn't exist. I mean, certain cultures you can call it conservative. To me, most countries are authoritarian. They're not really conservative because they never seen a conservative society. Conservatism, it can mean a lot of things. You're protecting a mass production of resources, similar like what you say, like a capitalist society. But capitalism can be very liberal. It don't always have to be conservative. I don't think capitalism is conservative. I believe it's very liberal. That's a liberal mindset, and that's what's. And it doesn't really exist no way because liberals been in many systems and corrupted them, and it is what it is. It's nothing conservative about it. See, conservatives can be authoritarians a little bit conservative, but the conservatism will die off. You just depends on what type of ruler are you. So again, conservatism is like my rule. It's kind of like democracy. It's very conservative. So I'm not gonna get in depth. Like I've done conservatism streams probably 3 times. Y'all can see the playlist, and it's pretty much it. And like I said, that's the stuff that you gotta hear all the time. So oh, salute Tampa, salute, salute, salute. And like I said before, I said it again, but when you get into the politics and the political aspects, I believe most people is expecting more. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep doing y'all's thing, man. Like, I see it all the time, but I know people try to teach them the so-called right and left, which I don't buy into it because nobody believes that. If you're a true leftist, you're really a Marxist. You actually practice what those people down in South America does, those revolutionary fights. Most of them ain't really built like that, and they ain't really ready to pick up arms and ready to go to war with the solid competition. You know what I mean? That's just the whole concept of things. So, like I said before, I said to begin, people just want to be heard and seen when they claim they're conservative, and they really not. They're actually liberals on the low. Because liberals, they come with concepts of small government, and normally they're not really promoting big government. Like I said, they just want big government. Liberals don't want big government. They want small. I'm trying to tell you, they're isolationists for by default. You got bitch ass niggas that think like so-called conservative, really liberals on the isolations on the fucking low. Like not giving you no knowledge. That's why I say fuck everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not liberal like that, thank God, because I am selfless to the default. If others need help, they need help. If you need help, if you don't need help, I'm not gonna fuck with you. It's gonna cut you off, and that's just it. And they think that's liberal behavior. No, no, you just gonna conserve your energy. You give it to the right people. I don't mind sharing. A lot of people say, what do they say? Sharing is caring. Yeah, I do believe in some aspects of that. You share it for the right people that needs it. I'm going by your needs, not what you wants. People want a lot of shit, which they don't need. And it's pretty much the same old, same old. So you got to understand something. A lot of people, they just want to be seen and be heard all the time online. And then they're in a situation they can't get out of. So you got to forgive me. Like a lot of people, they just going to be content what they have, but you can't get upset what they do. Like I figured this out a long time ago, and I felt like that's the way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way to go about it over here and over there. So I'm not pretty much alone on this. So you gotta understand something because a lot of people they go on certain panels, they spew that rhetoric, the left and right paradigm. I wish we just destroyed the right and left paradigms. I just don't believe in them. I don't believe in them. Because if we believe in them, that's a problem. Because the right wing to me is just fascism. You actually study right wing fascism, and right wingism is really fascism. You really talk about fascist society. You already got that. Left wing is just left wing Marxism, or I wouldn't say communist or socialism, but I would say like left wingism is far left. I don't say it like that. The left. The left is not usually liberal. No, they're far left, like these revolutionaries. the guys that you see in South America, those are the true, or what you would call Marxist. But Marxist system don't work. You got to have socialism, you got to have communism, you got to balance it out. Which they never oppress and rule people. They just didn't exist. They're like anarchists. If you want to talk about anarchy and anarchists, I did a stream on that on the political World Series. Y'all can check that out. I did like 2 or 3 parts of that, and it's in the tape. So basically, you have that in so many words. Yeah, it sounds great on paper, but they never ruled nothing. So in reality, that it doesn't have that presence boost that people want. So capitalism, the reason capitalism exists, well, technically it don't exist. It's a mix of it's a mix of what socialism and capitalism they. I think capitalism kind of died in the 50s. I mean, you saw it spurts of it in the 70s, I would say the 90s, but in the 2000s it kind of died. And then 9/11 came. That's when that shit went out the window. So it's basically a semi-socialist society. But to me, technically, America is more fascist than it is capitalist. I'll say it like that. It doesn't lean to the right wing side. I think America is way more fascist than it is capitalist. I'll say that. It ain't socialist or communist. No, I believe it's fascist because it's got the rudiments and the problems that and inflation and things like that. Inflation's not bad; it could be good. Sometimes they manipulate it, but not everybody can manipulate inflation. But that's a whole nother topic. I can spew why America's fast. It's got the weaknesses. It's got the symptoms. It's got the military symptoms as well. So it's pretty much you're seeing the problems that you're seeing right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going on the other end, so y'all bear with me. Back with the other side. So I understand that people don't talk about the right and left paradigm, and it's a reset. Most people, and then the younger people, if you go online, offline, they don't buy into that left and right paradigm nonsense, and that's a good thing. I see this on Twitter. I see this on Instagram. They really don't want the same old problems. You know what I'm saying? Like they expect you to know more, right? And if you notice, a lot of people are just tired of hearing it. Like, the liberal and conservative arguments, they still exist, but the left and right paradigm shit, they just like, they're not feeling that shit. And I understand the reason I'm talking about it, I'm tired of it because we're going to do a vlog stream in the future about it. It's one of those things that you got to be mindful of. Some people just want to be heard when they talk about these paradigms. I see this on the LBM Coliseum on Ramil's channel. He called himself the radical. You usually have radicals like that, revolutionaries and things like that. So it's not much you can say so much, and it's just what it is. But keep in mind, keep in mind, this stuff exists only in time. You gotta understand something. Most people are willing to change in the upcoming years. So, in 2024, you don't know how people are gonna change. Cause see, I'm gonna get a little older and I'm gonna realize things is a little different. It's a little different than it once was. You know what I'm saying? I understand the formula of that, right? So you're pretty much in a long ride. I'm not really surprised about it. So you gotta be mindful of that. So you gotta be mindful of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But you got people believing they can withstand everything, right? Like I'm just telling you, this stuff is nothing new, man. Like when the reset's here, it's here. It's here for a reason. So you're pretty much seeing what's going on because I know, I'm gonna be up here and the hour's approaching real soon. So y'all gotta get to know that when I do these type of I usually do this like the max of 2 hours, like my Wednesday content, my actual content. I talk about politics a little bit. I get in the flow and say, hey, this is the stuff that I talk about. Like that's a big concern, but the Trump thing, I'm not worried about it because Trump, that's just like I say he's gonna run again. To me, he's not gonna run again because he can't afford it. Because nobody wants him in there. They gonna make sure he don't run again. Period. and they don't want that particular base like that. So it's pretty much it. Oh man, hope my feet ain't swelling up. Yeah, I done wore these shoes out. Might need some new shoes. It's on my left side, ain't on my right side. I done walked in miles in these. I need something loose. But it's just all the same to me. And what I'm saying right now is like people they just trying new things and they just like say, hey, this stuff is gonna work long term. And I'm just like here just to let y'all know that a lot of people they just gonna get upset in the future. So it's pretty much like, I'm out here and things is just it's just moving right along, right? But you got to understand that most people when they talk about governmental stuff and then Trump and all that, Trump is just a figment of distraction, and it's pretty much the same. And you just get in here and be like, all right, we here, and people talk about stuff like the politics and video games and movies and stuff like that. It's all messaging because when you have that messaging, it's going to continue on further. So I understand that people talk about this stuff a lot, and I think you see certain channels talk about it a little bit. They sprinkle politics in their content, which is good. I mean, it's not bad. I have no issue. I mean, as long as you know what you're talking about, do the research and pull out sources like I do. I do it. I mean, I got different sources of the ideology and things like that. But as long as I do this type of content, I'm good, man. Like I could drop pre-record, talk about the actual stuff, and then have clips and stuff. I would love to, but people like the copyright stuff. I got screenshots that people be lying all the time. So I do that. I do screenshots. I definitely do those, do slides, and then showed y'all that this stuff is out here, man. Like we do this stuff, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start doing it for now on, and hear the voice. But it's pretty much it, you know. And I'm not understanding why people just don't want to deal with reality in certain things. Just be mindful of this stuff. Is going to continue on forward in the next election. So it's pretty much like how we gonna do this long term. So I get it, and I get the fact that people are just being mindful of things, and you gotta understand something. People are just not gonna forget what happened in 2020 and when Trump lost, and they're hurt by it. 74 million. The other 80 something million don't really care. It's a split. It's a big leap, and it's a big split in the country. So you see that right now. And then the Libertarian got what 5% of the vote stopped Trump. Yeah, that's why Trump didn't really win. They say it was close. Technically, it was not even that close. I mean, it was slightly close, but in the tail end, but it really wasn't that close. I was watching the election from 2020, that whole season from November to December, that shit. And then before January 6th happened, they got tired of this shit. And I think they got tired of Trump and they got tired of Alex Jones with the Sandy Hook shit. All that's connected. They don't want that type of style on the internet. So censorship has been king forever on both sides, but the right wings put it on themselves. They have a site called Rumble is similar to that. I was looking at Rumble's tenants, and me and Wack was talking about this relates to politics what we're talking about. Last Sunday, this past Sunday, he said that, and I told Wacky I did a vlog stream about it. There's no options besides YouTube. And that's the problem that people have. It's like mainstream media, and that's what it is. It's basically mainstream media is the only source of information, which is not, and that's going to be a problem in the future. That's why this site and Google ain't going to last long. If they ain't careful, their ass will be washed. They're going to have to find somebody to buy that shit off of it and rebuild this whole thing, and there we are. If y'all want to be a part of that, to be honest with you, I ain't, and it's gonna perish away, and that's usually the way it is for the better. But you got to understand something. This is the main hub of the site, or if it be bought or be rebuilt within. So that's the thing. That's the thing about it. There's other alternatives out there. I'm just saying they ain't good unless they tweak a few things. And that's pretty much it. So that's just how I look at it. And I'm not really surprised on the end. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really surprised. So that's all I got on it. And with the Trump thing, and I think it's pretty much clear where we stand at. So, you know what I mean? And that's how I'm gonna look at it from now on. So, you know, yeah, that's how I'm gonna look at it from this end, and just like basically just look at it from one end to the next. And you just got to be mindful of that. And you just got to look at it like, look, one thing I could say about modern day politics, you see the reset going in and out all the time, right? So I'm not really tripping off what's going on over here, and it's just like you got something here, and it's just pretty much it at this point. And then you just like I'm getting my trusty, and not to mention this stuff happens all the time, so we see it. And I'm just like, look, when you talk about it in a weird way, it's pretty much the same. I'm just like, okay, we here, and we just like, okay, we talk about it a lot. But in actual politics, man, like that stuff don't change. 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 But I mean, I'm just not going to go around and just act crazy. But hey, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. And I think people talk about females 24/7, and when they do their content and then they add politics to it, they just got to be careful because politics in that arena with them is kind of crazy. You don't want to be in that situation. They look at you as the bad guy. So that's like we see it a lot, but we understand the complexities of what's going on. So yeah, a lot of stuff is changing, man. But that's the reset moment. And what I'm saying is like the Trump shit all the way through the ideologies, people are not buying into it. You see it on Twitter, they just don't care. Instagram, so it's pretty much the same. And people's talking about the same old stuff, and they're getting some of the talking points here. They're getting some certain groups here, and then the y'all's infamous god KS done passed away, and your idol, and he's gone for real. And it's pretty much the same what you have so much before. But what you have is so much of it, it's not going to stop. So y'all just got to bear with me real quick. So it's pretty much you like, all right, that's just the thing. But I just don't really think like people just acting up like this is something brand new. No, this has been a thing. You know, people have these weird ideologies all the time, and I'm just telling you, like this stuff ain't going nowhere. So yeah, get my widget out. Okay. But shouts out to people that came through, man. Damn, it was a lot of, I'm getting a few. Oh, excuse me. A little gas there. Adds up at the end of the stream. It's been an hour, so it's pretty good. So I ain't gonna stay up too long. I don't know if I'm gonna do 2 hours because this is like on a short notice. Because tomorrow I'm gonna be getting into my shit. I'm gonna be in my bag, so y'all bear with me on this one. But yeah, you got your moments. You got your moments, and that's just boils down to what you see and normally that people does. You know, and that's something that I've always read and dread. You know, and I'm just like, hey, we here. We just keep it pushing. But it's just like I'm just like, hey, we're gonna be here all the time. So I'm not really surprised by anything. But and that's how I look at it. If you get into it, one thing about me, I'm just gonna learn a lot for certain individuals in the past, and then you just pick it up and you're like, all right, we here now. So that's quite of an interesting take on me on this topic, and I think it is in full effect, and you see the effects right now. You see it on a lot of stuff. It's actually in person, but you got to understand this stuff is going to continue the rest of the way. So you're pretty much understanding how it's going to go down end of the day. So yes, it's pretty much normal, and I'm not really saying anything bad or anything. It's just like you got to get with the program, and that's just how it is. And that's what you gotta understand. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out for quick. That's on later, but yeah, I was trying to finish up a session, but you know, it's been a minute since I talk about it in its purity and its form. But that's the thing about me, and you got to look at that. So when I talk about it, I'm like, hey, I'm just in rare form with the politics and things like that. So I'm back on it again. So what's the latest? So I haven't been watching the news. I know people's gonna talk about the Ukraine shit all day long because that's normally what I'm seeing on the news. I'm trying to steer away from that because I talked about enough of it. We got to see how it's gonna play out, and it's pretty much the same old. And then Trump getting raided, that don't really mean anything. It's just a continuation of what's going on, and that's just how it is. And then they try to say, "What about wokey people? Woke people? Who cares? Those people ain't really built like that. Those people ain't really built like that. They're built to do certain things, but they're just not the people I would say as a threat." And they try to call them the left. There's no such thing as a woke community. It's just a word that people say they're woke and all this stuff. Woke just means awaken. These people are fake awakened because they claim they have interest. These are idiots. These are liberal idiots, and they're on both sides really. And some of them are semi-liberal, conservative, and then you got the pseudo liberals, and you also have fascists amongst you lying to people that I don't fuck with. That's just the truth, man. Like I treat people like dog shit over time when it comes to politics. You got to treat people like where we at. Shouts out to Ty City, and he said game versus tricking, and this is an interesting topic. And we right at it again, but they have to. They have to. I mean, they can. To me, I ain't saying they the only one to speak on it, but this is something that I noticed. Here we go with the conversations again, and they right at it. A lot of people don't want to hear it. They want to hear it, and shouts out to them too. They dropping this topic. Neither side is perfect. I ain't gonna say I'm game this, I'm pro that. No, I used to be like that in my youth, my early youth. I'm kind of like in between, but the tricking aspect, I get it and I understand people trick for different reasons. I don't do that personally. I don't care for neither one of them. Neither one of them is perfect, so it's a done deal over here. But you got to understand something. You can't just get mad at the fact that people gonna do what they're gonna do, regardless of what's going on. But shouts out to them, man. Like when we just talk about the reset and then politics is here uh forsaken, you got stuff like this all the time, man. Like people still on that arguments from 2020 and prior to 2021. Like that whole year in 2021 was a mess when people talk about that shit. It had nothing to do with people just tricking. It's just people show their hand, and then you got these new community people called passport bros. I don't give a fuck if you have a passport. If y'all want to enjoy fuck somebody, I don't give a shit. That's your business. Go ahead. Learn something when you're overseas. Not over there just be fucking. And if you couldn't get that over here, you failed. I'm just saying, like, I don't need to travel to get pussy. I don't co-sign that. I don't support that shit. I laugh at people when they think that's better, but dude, you failed over here. Why you think Kuda got on their ass a little bit about that? He was talking shit and just throw shots at him, but I know he's pro game, this and that, and they said they're against the game. See, they get caught up in the bullshit. Now I understand Kuda defends it to like it's his religion. He's like a prophet. He's like that on that PPT shit. But shouts out to Kuda. Kuda's gonna be entertaining and things like that. I know he's watching over at Todd Cities. Um, listen to this conversation. To me, I don't want to get back in that conversation. I already said what I said last year, and I don't care, bro. Like I stand on what I stand on, and it is what it is. It's not bad. Having game is not an issue. It's can you finesse a bitch all the time? A lot of times that takes work. Nobody wants to do that. They're gonna go the easy way out and just give her the money. And I understand. And I think Corey Holcomb said this on Big Boy. He said, you got to pay your fee when you get older. And when he said that, and at his age, it's understandable. See, at least he's honest. But it's a lot of these dudes, they're dishonest and claiming they're this and that, but really they support the other way. And I'm not gonna get into the conversation of that because there's some political factors in that as well. If they legalize prostitution, none of these conversations would appear. They wouldn't exist. You niggas need to get over it. Things are changing, man. Not gonna argue with that fact. So if y'all on that bullshit, y'all got to get over that shit. That shit's dead. That shit died a long time ago. It died after 9/11. I'm telling you, that game shit is obsolete. They don't care about that shit. It only works for certain people in certain aspects. That's why it's a small world. It's not a big world. That's why a lot of tricks run it because people allow it. They okay with it. The older they get, the more they're gonna do it. It's always about bread. He said every woman has a price. I hear people say in the chat room they have a price. Well, when they say they have a price, they all think like that. And am I mad at them? Hell no. Do tricks have games? Some of them do have game. Their game is money. Can they finesse bitches? Hell no. They are what they are. They know the game, but they don't know how to finesse the game. They don't know how to get more. They always get less. And I understand how they think because it's been taught to me years ago. Your uncles don't have to teach you this shit. Do you know from your friends? Like you learn it from the people I used to hang with. Well, I used to hang with. I learned it from them, and then I self-taught the rest of the way when I came here in GA, and I understand. You have to finesse a certain way. You have to move different. It's not like it was back home, have it easy in a small radius. But once you get outside the bigger pond, you start moving different and start learning different people and then the lingo, and then you get used to it. There you are. Most people, they just worry about the wrong shit over time, and there they are, right? So it's pretty much, I just don't have to be mindful that most people are going to do the dumb shit regardless of the situation. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not really in all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? In particular, you just got to understand that a lot of people, they just going to be who they are on here, and then they're gonna be fake off it when they get off. It's just, I'm not buying that. The persona and all that other stuff. If you have it, I always used to say, and while I was over there on the third shift, I know Kuda can't stand me saying it, but I don't care. I say what the fuck I want to say, and I said it last year, and I always say it this year. If you have it, if you don't, it's one of those situations. It's always gonna be that, and a lot of dudes get mad when I say it. They got mad at me last year saying it because it's the same thing. Now, politics, same concept. If you have that charisma, that polarizing figure, you're that dude. If you're not that dude, step away from it. So it's like I said, the Great Reset is here. It's in full effect. You see it all the time. You see people struggling to get shit ends meet, and they're really struggling hard because I don't see them prospering in the future. So you got to look at this stuff from a integral perspective, and you got to see people for what it is. And what it is, what it ain't. So that's just what it is. And I won't read. Well, he said, "Why married niggas coming on your panels?" Oh, it's a shot. Yeah, married motherfuckers are struggling in politics as well. Keep their families ends meet. How they gonna feed the kids when there's too much inflation in the world? So you're pretty much in a hole. I get what they're saying, but most people, they just don't want to deal with that reality and that fact, and that's just here. So yeah. Oh, I see you, Mike. I know you're here. I know you're here. I want to see the chat overlay for a minute. So, oh, damn. Shouts out to people that's here. It's pretty much, Wednesday content is usually, I'm just here all the time. So I'll be back tomorrow and just show you the real shit. But, I got tons and tons and tons and tons of screenshots for y'all. I have a couple of shots for y'all. Hold on for a minute. I gotta get in my bank in my library, you know, since my computer just upgraded on me like it ain't like it's supposed to. But this upgrade is kind of weird. Trying new things and trying to maneuver and just see what's what. They got dates on them. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, they got dates on these. And that's why we're gonna talk about Complex's question, and then we're gonna talk about old girl, the nitty gritty. Yeah, man. I'll put this up here. It's a lot of interesting shots, but it, it's just like the fact that I understand that people just don't deal with a lot, and they just understanding that most of the stuff is coming through. But how can we say that this stuff is going to continue? He said red and black talking about Mal Manor fuck. I call him Mal Manor fuck. Fuck nigga that he is. Oh, they been finished. Soundmind said they been finished. Yeah. It's just what it is. I know people are gonna defend AM and all that. And I get it. I get it. I get it. But he don't give a fuck about none of you niggas. His content's trash anyway. Ain't nobody listening to that nigga. He ain't getting no 1,000 views in his box. You know he failed. Ain't nobody fucking with that nigga. And it's sad that it boils down to that. And then me, only got a few people in there. Shouts to the few that did support. And I don't need much. I don't ask for no donations. I don't do that. I just do this as my content. I'm a content creator. I do actual content, unlike most of these niggas. And I'm consistent with it. I just drop it every now and then. And I just move on. And then when I do pre-records, I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna be me and just like I'm here. I don't need a lot of panel time. Like most panels, they just be on some bullshit, and then I ain't got all day to be sitting. Unless it's a good topic, and then I'll just come in and come through, and then we'll participate. So what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point of the action? So I understand that most people just want to be on and be seen and whatnot and whatever. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm just like look at like this right quick. Nobody's gonna look at it so many times. I'm just like over here. Like I'm just looking at it like, people are gonna be who they are. He said paying for money for the box equals tricking, buying food, clothing, da, da, da. Number 16, you need to be quiet. This is a typical. He's I got game all day, everybody. I'm great. He's angry man, don't believe SB. Oh, young Jay, shut your bitch ass up. Quit sucking that man's dick. I'm telling you, man. Woo! And he claimed he was conservative, what, 2 years ago, and then MOT got on his ass. I call that man three syllables, but we're gonna leave MOT alone. I'm just gonna leave him alone because he's already shook when he's over here. I ain't messing with his weak ass content. But anyways, but the conservatism shit, like I think this was 2 years ago. I had to address it, and I think this is on his shit. And he tried to be cool with Angry Man. That shit went left. Yeah, we was throwing shots. I threw shots last year. Last year was last year. It was a pandemic period. And we was trying to come out of it. But this nigga insisted on he was great. And once he left and certain individuals made him left, he didn't come back after that. And I think the last time I was on the panel, I think Jerome Whiteside made fun of about his dead grandma. We ain't gonna get into that. Because I mean, excuse me, not just Jerome Whiteside, aka Little TP. Shouts out to Ty City for that. And it's like things have came around. So y'all expect much, you know? So I'm not really tripping what y'all be saying half of the time. I'm just like doing me. So y'all just better bear with it and deal with it long termly. Cause my feet was kind of sore anyway, tiptoeing around. But like I said, the reset is here. You see a lot of them, and yes, hoes are winning over here. Like I stand on that. Yes, they always won, always will be. And if nigga don't like it, deal with it. He asked me to do a stream. Just come by Sunday Madness and hit the link. If you don't like what I said tonight on Wednesday night, I'll address you on Sunday Madness or whatever. Anybody that have an issue with what I said tonight, what I think about my views on it, address me on Sunday Madness. Because tomorrow's gonna be different. I tell y'all to address on Thursday thrills or Sunday Madness. I said now Thursday I'm tied up with some screenshots. I promise y'all. It's every other 2 weeks. Not every 2 weeks, every other 2 weeks. If I find something interesting to talk about, because Thursday thrills is usually free for all, but sometimes it's more um, what you would see type of thing. So yeah, you gotta understand that. That's the thing. That's the thing with me. But yeah, he said need to rehire Sizzle Miami to get better bitches. Everybody going in the chat. Oh man, they all on his head, bro. Everybody's on, AMS. That's all people care about. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny people talking about this conversation. This is what distraction looks like, and that's what the reset is here. Like you niggas ain't ready for the actual political truth. I had to take the chat overlay off, and y'all not ready for this type of content, man, because they're gonna come through and just knock your heads loose. Like you think these hoes are gonna stop? They're lethal, man. They're too lethal for a lot of you niggas, and y'all think y'all gonna stop them head on, but y'all not, bro. Like y'all really not. I'm just telling y'all for experience. Y'all not ready for that shit. Y'all not ready for that shit long term. I'll tell you that right now. I think this is okay. Okay. And I'm just like looking at it at once. Yeah. I ain't get used to this shit. Yeah. I gotta look at it real quick. Yeah. I'll put this. Yeah. I want no interference. Sorry if y'all heard a little interference. I didn't mean to bleep it in under my mic or whatever. So, but shouts out to everybody, man. Damn, I didn't know y'all come through like for a nigga like that. Shit, brother's doing good. So I told you, I still got it. I still got it. It's gonna take me a while, but I still got it. It's just, this year everybody's been outside, but it's been a mild summer. It ain't been impressive down here in Georgia, man. Like it's been a mild summer. If y'all want to ask, it's been mild here. It's been raining every often, and it's been relaxing, but it has its muggy moments and its hot moments. But it's been like that. But August is long and hot anyway. But wait till mid-August. It's gonna be super hot. It ain't gonna be raining all the time. Hell no, it's gonna be some days that you're gonna actually have to do shit. But cause tonight, this is what it is. I can't wait till Friday though. Friday, I'm just gonna be chilling. I don't know if I'm gonna do content on Friday. I'm just gonna be chilling because Friday's gonna be Friday. It's pretty much like I'm out here and just like I ain't even worried. You do what you do. You do what you do. But that's just how I'm gonna look at it, regardless of the situation. So you got people talking about things and they just be like, hey, we're gonna be here, we're gonna stand on it and be like, all right. That's basically what I'm seeing right now. And speaking of it, you got dudes failing and acting crazy, and you get people caught up and things like that. Man, it's just like he said dating coaches will be getting regular jobs in the near future. That's what Zulu's. Oh, well, everybody's doing that, man. Like Zulu, you ain't talking about much. He said Platinum's running the outdated SB fake pimp game. Sh- In a way, yes, Young Jay, and no, but you be on his dick in his chat room. He don't fuck with your bitch ass. Don't get me started, bro. Like, Platinum is gonna be Platinum is an entertainer. I don't view him as that. I view him as an entertainer. Shouts out to Platinum though. Platinum impresses me, and he always gonna find some content. He knows how to do content. He's been on that side. He's been in and out. So shouts out to him. No hate over here with Platinum. Platinum is gonna be y'all can call him an idiot, this and that. Nah, he's just entertaining. I mean, y'all think he's an idiot. I don't think he is. Does he act like one? Every now and then, every now and then, he has his moments. He has his moments. And I've been on panels with him like multiple times over the third shift and plenty of times on Kuda shit, but not on his shit because his shit is wild. Because you got some crazy niggas talk to you sideways, and you got to deal with that, And that's his thing. That's his stick, and I respect that. But me, I just do my shit and just keep it pushing and just move on. But a lot of times, people just do what they do. But you got niggas who want to hate regardless of the situation. I don't really trip off of things. So, less of the fuck shit if people stab me in the back and then try to act like with this brotherhood shit, I cut that shit off. This year it's just kind of like I'm focused on me more than ever, and I think this is a good thing. And I'm taking my time, and this shit will grow. And once I do the pre-records, and when the fall comes, winter comes, I'm gonna be on fire. I gotta drop something every now and then. So I'm gonna be back on this shit. I'm gonna be back on this shit because I'm just playing GTA right now. The most I say right now is like it's all right. It's all right. Definitive is all right. It ain't perfect, but it's all right. It's gonna be taking me to get used to. I gotta tweak some things and just move on and not worry about shit. I'll be in motion in time. So it's pretty much shit. So I ain't got much to speak on because it's an hour. I ain't gonna go over like 2 hours because I don't think it's the nice tonight. But I think 2 hours is a little overkill. The next time I will go over 2 hours and I'll talk about something else, like in the political spectrum. I might share you a link and read a little bit and just keep it going. Because Wednesdays I usually stick to my main points because I know Ty's going in acting crazy, so it's pretty much it. So, but shouts out to everybody, man. Shouts out to Mike, long time no see. Tampa, appreciate you coming through, and Alonzo, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Leticia, long time no see. Appreciate you for coming by. And who else came through? TC Killer, T Church, Beef and Brock. Who else came through? Call himself the Scribe Salute. And Sinku, appreciate you coming through. But yeah, but everybody that came through. And it's just like I just want to wrap this up because I didn't want to go too long because I thought about it. At first I thought I was gonna do 2 hours, but I said to myself, nah, I'm not gonna let y'all go crazy. I'm just gonna let y'all live for another day because I'm getting ready for tomorrow. So, I'm getting in my one mic line, so I'll be good. I got these other ones over here just laying around. So I'm gonna let y'all live tonight because tomorrow I'm gonna be on fire. So I'm gonna be on time this time because I was almost late, but just made it in time to get the stream off. So it's pretty much it. So with that, I want to say peace and shalom, and I'm out.